I want to quickly get to what we're seeing right now with the votes, because I think it's been a really interesting night so far. Let's see if we can pull up the big board there and get a closer look at the votes that are coming in. This is right now focusing on Brantley County. What was interesting about Brantley County, we had 100% of the precincts reporting. Herschel Walker had 5,200 votes, just over that in the general when we had the midterm election. But over here now, he's got 5,038 votes. He lost 200 votes. Eric, why are we seeing that?
I think it's just a lack of enthusiasm. I mean, it's been some criticism. It's not my candidate, not my party, but on candidate quality. But I think what you're seeing is it was going to be very difficult for Walker to make up that 200,000 vote deficit. There were some people that may have even come to vote for Kemp and voted for Walker in the general that just aren't going to go out now because Kemp's not on the ballot. So I think there's a lot of factors going on that are just driving that number a little bit lower than we all thought it would be starting out tonight. And
especially troublesome maybe for the Walker campaign, because for Warnock, those numbers stayed pretty consistent. Now, this is just one county, clearly Brantley County, it's a small county, but the question is, Dr. Gillespie, do you think that this could set the tone? Are we going to see what's happening in a county like that in southern Georgia repeat in other counties throughout the state?
So one of the things that I noticed, and I was watching a national network kind of in between the breaks, is that the South Georgia counties, in part because they're smaller, are having their votes come in. And so we've seen the race narrow, in part because the places where we expect Herschel Walker to get a lot of his votes, they're coming in. So I think the big question is, if we see underperformance, if we see fewer than expected votes in these counties, how is that going to be offset when DeKalb County comes in? So the last time I looked at DeKalb County, only 5% of their votes were in. That's going to be a huge tranche of votes for Raphael Warnock, and that could actually end up offsetting the growth that we've seen in the Walker sort of totals over the course of the last few minutes.
So safe to say, still a lot of race left to go.
Still a lot of race left to go.
All right, and then Cody, any final thoughts then on what these two people are saying?
Yeah, so I think you can throw Brantley County, Pierce County, Gordon County. There's a few others, Murray County I looked at during the break. These are rural counties where Herschel is always going to win those counties, but it's not only about your margin, it's about your vote total. And I think that there's a couple of concerning signs. What I think the Walker campaign has to hope is that the turnout in Columbia, Muskogee, Bibb, Fulton, DeKalb, those vote totals for Warnock are a little bit lower than they were previously.
So we need to keep an eye on those counties, you think? That's going to tell the story for the night.
We'll see.